Project ZX81. Final update, people. And next time this goes out, people can actually play on it. It's pretty much finished. As finished as I want it to be. It's a dust magnet at the moment. Right. Let's explain what's been done. Starting from the top front view. The whole thing is now secure. And as you can see, I've got the off AV and radio with a little sign, Retro Robbins. There we go. Additional is on the back. We have a simple reset button. Yeah, I've got to block off those empty holes at the back. Get 81s underneath there. I've put rather large feet on because it's quite a big base. But then this side, you've got your load, and for the load symbol, if it focuses, there's a little computer, and for the save, there's a little disc. Right, and I've put it on silver so it sticks out, but it's not the only silver thing on there. I couldn't just have the aerial as being the only silver thing on there, and the reset button. I wanted something else silver, so I needed a third item, and I made that silver, where I drilled the case slightly to get that to fit. Well, you've got the headphone socket to silver. Question is, does it work? Well, obviously it works. I think we need to switch it straight on. So the screen warms up. You see this, the black K starts to appear. There we go. Let's type something in. You know what's going on here, don't you? Of course you do. It's 15. Let's scroll it, shall we? Interesting, the scroll button. I kind of like the scroll button on the ZX81. I used to use it an awful lot. Okay, right, run. Hello world. Hello Retro Robbins. There you go. So now you can see that's loading lovely. Running a program quite nice. How well does it reset? Well, perfectly. Just quick it. There you go. Get sync. Back to it on there. There you go. Lovely. Back to normal. So let's try loading again. Whoops. Which you'll be able to do via a T6 player on the top. That's the last piece of the puzzle. But at the moment, I'm using one of these devices. And I've got a file selected. In fact, I should select another file. Should we go for... Yeah, we'll stick with the... Oh, I've reset it. Right. Simply get your RF cable. We plug that into so-and-so. Yeah, you know, the jack thing. ZX81 select, and we'll press play on that. That pauses, which is handy because it pauses automatically. When we press enter, you get screen distortion just like you would on a normal ZX81, and that's the beauty of this. You'll still be able to load externally using a tape, using that port, but once you push that in, it will cut off the TZX Arduino at the top automatically, so as you don't get any interference between the two. Let's press play and watch what happens to the screen display when we start playing a file into the ZX81. Yep, you can even hear it loading if you wish. So there you go, you can see the ZX81 is now loading. But supposing you don't want to listen to it loading, let's take that out of the way. Put the aerial up. Well, I won't have the radio on too long. Let's listen to the radio, shall we?
The EE and get our fastest full fiber ever.
Well, how fast is fast?
Up to 1.6 gig fast.
So I can live stream them out.
So we got the radio going as well.
With my friends. And I get you.
Tune into another station.
Who's the gang leader that's rolled up all the other gangs.
UK availability terms apply.
Yeah, it's all adverts on radio at the moment. But anyway, the point is, you can see, you can listen to the radio, but if you don't want the radio, you can either turn that right down, or you can switch the radio off there. Now, while it's loading, it won't interfere with the ZX81, whether you switch the radio on or switch the radio off. But if you switch it too far off, and you knock it off there, you switch the ZX81 off and the television, they switch off both at the same time. They both run off the same power source, which is from the television itself. And because Tony wired in a stepping voltage regulator, which is more efficient than the 7805, it's not using that much extra power. So it's not really got a major current drain. Hopefully. We'll see this game loaded in a moment. Let's have a look at what percentage we're up to. Problem is with these screens, they're too tiny for me. 85%, so we've not got too long to go. We'll need to turn this light off. It's quite stable, very stable as a matter of fact. Those wires hanging at the top is just the 5-volt feed, ready for the TZX Arduino to go on top. That's been made by UMaker Robots. It's umakerrobots.com for all your peripherals to do with spectrums. Every system actually, if you want to load original tape, sounding games using a SD card solution, that place I highly recommend. And he's been looking after me, has Ricky, many times. He's, for instance, he made me the this lovely little device that I showed earlier. It's a bit yellow, but it's one of those. You know, the Sinclair products that he makes also. Here's one I modified earlier that comes from UMaker Robots. Pretty good they are, because they load both TAP and TZX files, which is good. But you can also have more modified ones if you wish. Supposing you want one for the BBC Micro, he does them in the style that you need. So I highly recommend you go to there, get your games loaded just like you would back in the day. Right, so ZX81. Big issues I had really was the case was a little bit away on here, because for some unknown reason it's sort of distorted as you put it together. But I got the gap quite good on the main monitor itself, which was perfect. It's cleaned up really nicely, to be honest with you. I love the giant feet, to be honest. The giant feet is a real feature, if you ask me. It's really rock solid stable, you know. I put it on a glass mirror because that's the flattest and most levelest surface you can get. Right, there you go. Let's have a little zoom in with it, hopefully. You can see the ZX81 bouncing away there. And this display's been really good. Those white lines that you see flickering across, well, they're not exactly in vision here. It's just the frame rate, the capture rate caused from the camera. Unfortunately, it's a mobile phone camera that I'm using, and you won't get any better than that. But boy, what a lovely little project. And now I have seen a ZX81 done with its own screen built on, but it was a flat screen, you know, modern type thing. And the issue you get with that is when you're loading, the screen just completely blanks out. And I wanted to mimic exactly what a ZX81 would do, you know, with the screen distortion, which was a bit of a happy accident. Wasn't never meant to be that way, because obviously you can't access screen RAM while it's loading at the same time, which was fixed in the Spectrum and other ones, where you get a lovely border effect and possibly a loading screen and all of that. But you don't get that with the ZX81. It was a bare bones machine that was made at a budget indeed. It was a Z80, but ended up into the homes of millions of people. And I've had many happier hour programming ZX81s, especially when I used to buy Sinclair programs back in the day. Anyway, if you're going to RCM in Leicester, the Leicester Computer Museum, you will be able to see this, because I'm taking it along with me. Eventually, its home will be at RCM, along with the lads, to give you something quite different. You don't have to just watch demos, you can play games on it as well. Everything I've taken into consideration, and it's all ready to rock and roll. Thanks to everybody who's recently subscribed. If you've enjoyed this project, please give me a like and share it to others. Show it 1 or 2 other people. In the meantime, you all have a good working week or weekend. Retro Robin shows will be back to normal for a bit. And then I'm going to go for something very, very special indeed to do with the Commodore 64. Yeah, and that one is at the moment top secret, and people have been trying to get out to me what am I planning to do with the Commodore 64, and I'm just keeping it a little bit quiet at the moment. It may be in time revealed at the Zap live event, but let's put it this way, it's going to look good. Thanks for watching, everybody. You take care. Bye for now. Retro Robbins.